Well, they're certainly agitating, right? Bubba Cunningham did some work and got North Carolina in the tournament bracket for the March Madness, and that nobody agrees with that. I haven't come across one commentator that says absolutely North Carolina belonged, but I think you cannot take college football or the autonomous four or the power two out of any one of these conversations. So the power two conferences, the Ohio State's and the Michigan, sorry, Ohio State's Michigan, the SEC and the Big Ten, they absolutely have all the power in college sports. There's no doubt about it. Those conferences rule all. And then it's the autonomous four, right? Well, here you have a North Carolina that's agitating to leave the ACC that only had 3 other teams make March Madness. Can you believe that? That the ACC used to be the strongest basketball conference in America for decades, and now they only would have had 3 teams in. Right. So now Bubba Cunningham, who says he didn't say anything, of course, that's stupid. He's on the committee. He now gets North Carolina on, and now he's in this tournament bracket. And now people are screaming and yelling, saying, well, does the ACC no good because you're not helping us. You're just self-serving yourself. And you got to imagine that he's networking with these other Power 2 leagues to possibly being North Carolina on. So I don't think you can separate any of it. I think it's all connected. And at the end of the day, North Carolina wants that big invite. And as I said 10 minutes ago, I don't see an impending reason. If I was looking to expand, I wouldn't expand now. There would be no reason to go through the expense to bring these schools in at their current values right now, unless the schools are willing to come in at half share or a third share, like Washington, Oregon did to join the Big Ten, or like Stanford and Cal did to join the ACC. If they come in at a lesser share, now I can see the SEC and the Big Ten wanting to bring them in.
80 folks watching right now, folks. If you tell 10 people, then we get to 800 here.
There you go.
Let's do that math.
Yes, for sure.
Let's do that. Appreciate Nathan being here again. College Football Mafia. It's right here on YouTube, and B12 Mafia is the Twitter handle. And one caveat to the numbers that I just presented. Number one, they're not completely accurate. Who knows how far off they are? Again, I was just putting that out there as a sample. I'm guessing they're in the range. Number two, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, as always, I'm hearing about 75% of that's going to be football for the ACC and 25% in regards to that kind of popularity ratings distribution.
Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty good guess. I think it's going to be between 75 and 80%, because right now it's about 4-1 for the current revenue breakdown in college sports. So college football gets 4 shares to every 1 share of basketball. But yeah, I think you're probably accurate. When they split it up for the conference itself, the brand initiative, it'll probably be something close to that, because you can't give North Carolina, whose football brand has been good, right? 8-9 games, they come and they win games. They're not going out and competing for national championships or to get into the playoff. And so their brand is basketball, and that's okay. They should be secure in their basketball greatness. However, basketball doesn't bring football money. It simply doesn't. So it would be really bad to do that upside down.
Absolutely. So again, you can take the numbers that I presented, but also kick in the North Carolinas and Dukes of the world are obviously going to catch a bit of a wave, a bit of a boost from that 20 to 25% that's going to be the strongest on the basketball side for those schools. And I couldn't even tell you who's weak in basketball right now. I've been out of the basketball deal for quite some time here, Nathan. I got one other question concerning, where was I going with this? Oh, in regards to your brand evaluation of the ACC, like once you put football and the lesser portion of basketball and anything else you want to throw in there that you think is consequential, the academic fit with the league, whatever else it is, how would you rank the ACC schools in terms of attractiveness currently for any other suitors?
Okay. I probably Florida State would be number 1. I'd have Clemson number 2. I'd probably have Miami number 3, North Carolina number 4, And then Georgia Tech flew up the rankings last year, and whether they can stay there, I don't know. But right now, they're an attractive brand. Louisville, certainly. Virginia Tech, North Carolina State. I know I'm going to miss Virginia. These are all schools that are generally all going to be around the same range. So I would break them into the top five. Let's say the top five, including Georgia Tech, since they did make a big climb this last year. And then I would have the next. So five, the next four, and then there's everybody else. And Stanford could be number one if they wanted to put the money into their athletics. Well, yeah, I've yet to see that. So Stanford has a huge upside. Cal, I don't know what you do with Cal, to be honest. And then SMU, unfortunately, SMU, nobody's watching their games. So I would have them down with Wake Forest, Boston College. Syracuse is one of those tweener brands. I'm not sure what to do with them. If they went to a basketball conference, they'd be worth more money. Did I cover everybody? I know I'm missing.
There's 17 of them.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to
Nathan,
catch
so-
them all. I was trying to catch. No, I would just say that the top 4 or 5
Sure.
are the ones I would lean into.
The NC States and Louisvilles of the world interest me just because I don't know where they are in this I know where they are in the hierarchy. They're in the middle to upper half.
Right.
But we get past the obvious brands that are going to attract attention, and then of course discard the Wake Forest of the world at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the attraction is between, let's say, the Big 12 going out to grab an NC State or a Louisville.
Yeah, it's extremely high. Look, Brett Yormark, the ship has sailed, everybody. If you're watching, you might not like me, but what I'm telling you is an absolute fact. That is, the P2 ship has sailed. There's no way that the Big 12, or for that matter, any other conference, could come along and close the gap with the SEC and the Big 10. It's never going to happen. It's now stratified. That's codified. They own all the CFP shares, so they're always going to be at the top. The Big 12 is fighting to be that next conference. And to do that, to survive, they need the best brands out of the ACC. So Louisville, Virginia Tech, NC State, Georgia Tech would be attractive. I know one I forgot is Pitt. The reason I forgot about them is not because we don't like Pitt, it's because they don't want to be in the Big 12, essentially like Utah did, and they're talking themselves right out of a spot, in my opinion. The only question is going to be, does Brett Yormark want 4 brands or 8? If Brett Yormark brings 8 brands in, they could blow the conference up tomorrow if those schools wanted to join the Big 12. So that's why I think we're going to end up with 3 conferences between 20 and 24 schools each conference.